Okay, this episode is sponsored by Chime. I remember when I first found out what a credit score was. I was applying to my first apartment in Los Angeles, and I didn't even know that I had one, let alone how important it was to have one. Because up until that point, I had only lived with my family or moved in and took over leases from someone else who already had it. So I did not know what a credit score was. It was a rude awakening to not only find out what they were, but how important they were. But we have all reached a point where we realize it is time to make serious money moves. Take control of your finances by signing up for a Chime checking account with features like no maintenance fees, fee-free overdraft charges to up to $200, or getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Learn more at chime.com/Shannon. Make your fall finances a little greener by working towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Shannon. That's chime.com/Shannon. Chime. It feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank NA or Stride Bank NA. Members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details. This episode is sponsored by Osea. Everything showers are a very important part of my self-care routine. I think if you are someone like me and your hair and makeup routine are more minimal, honestly, it makes your hygiene routine like even more important, and your shower time is like half the time making sure that you are like smelling good, looking good, feeling good. Osea's new Undaria Algae Body Wash is an essential part of my everything showers now, and it is a must-have addition to turning your shower routines into a tropical paradise. It has an iconic, all-natural, uplifting, citrusy scent. Undaria Algae Body Wash infuses your shower with the power of the sea. It's formulated with nourishing, nutrient-rich Undaria seaweed, glycerin, and an oil blend. I love it. I love the way it feels, and I especially love the way that it smells. Plus, it's plant-based, and I really try to use plant-based products anywhere that I can. And it leaves skin soft, smooth, and revitalized. Upgrade your shower with clean, vegan face and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code Shannon at oseamalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping with orders over $60. Head to oseamalibu.com and use code Shannon for 10% off. Okay, hi guys. Welcome back to Exes and O's. It's me, Shannon Beveridge. I feel like the last at least 5 episodes I've done really short intros, or at least been like, I'm doing a short intro. I was thinking about giving y'all a little bit less short of an intro this week, mostly because I actually wrote stuff down that I wanted to talk about. I have something prepared. I got something up my sleeve for once. God bless America. Finally feels like I'm actually like living in my house and not that this is an Airbnb. Technically moved in September 1st, and now it's like kind of getting into October, so I feel like this is where I live. And I've been decorating, as you can see. If you're watching, then you are in my living room with me. Still looking forward to doing a full house tour for YouTube, especially when everything is like fully decorated and done. It's getting closer, but we're still not there. Things in my studio are still being set up, especially because of the bed, which I've been teasing, but it's specific and bizarre, so it's been taking longer than you might think to have it set up. I'm so bummed because I have a few like big guests, like even today's guest, Alli Bellairs. I'm obsessed. Like, she is truly hilarious. It's actually intimidating how funny she is. Maybe I'm just gonna have to redo all of these people again, like from the set, so there's like the whole actual X's and O's experience, because I love the bed part of it. It's so fun, but we'll see what happens. Do y'all have any like guilty pleasure podcasts you watch? Because Becca watches some really niche, bizarre little podcasts that I'm like, what? You don't care about any of these things? And she's like, no, I literally don't. I just like, I have like a connection to these people now to like want to listen to them. Like really, really niche, like religious podcasts sometimes. I'm like, do you need to tell me something? She's like, no, I just like listening. And I'm like, it's so funny because I'll be hearing snippets of it from across the room. I'm like, what the fuck are you listening to? One of them the other day, the title was How to Submit to Your Husband Part 2 or something. I find myself, she puts them on and then I'm like, this is like intriguing. Like it's almost like studying like human. What is the study of humans? Oh my God, doesn't it start with an A? What the fuck? Why can't I think? Anthropology? Is that the study of human culture? On another topic of like content consumption, I was laughing listening to this episode and then also thinking about the next episode I filmed. I don't know if I brought it up, but I wanted to bring it up and I was trying to like make sure I didn't. When I am reading a book, and it's probably because I don't read as often as I should, but when I am reading a book, I will reference the book way too much in my life. And then I'm realizing on the podcast, like I'm like, oh, that book is on my mind, obviously, because I'm reading it. But do y'all do that too? Like if you're reading something, it's just like I like try to find a reason to bring it up. I almost feel like, because it won't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. And I'm like, so I'm reading this book about lesbian nuns. It's like, okay, no one asked. And that does not have anything to do with what we're talking about. I think it did in the context of this episode, but I'm not kidding. I've been doing it just in general. Do y'all do that? Am I alone? Please let me know that I'm not the only person who does that. Okay, and last but not least, the last thing I want to talk about is this season of Love is Blind. How do we get a queer Love is Blind? How? I need it. I need it desperately because I love the show as is, because it is just so intriguing and bizarre. And talk about like a study of human beings, anthropology, there it is. How do we get a gay Love is Blind? Who do I need to talk to? Where do we start a petition? What are we gonna do if we do, like, let's say a lesbian Love is Blind? Where are they all hanging out? Is there just no communal space? Are we keeping everyone apart from each other? But then where's the fun when there's a reunion and then they're like, oh my God, you're Jasper? I just made that name up. Do you know what I mean? We would miss that part. How would we do that part? It can't be some kind of like heteronormative thing where you separate like masks and femmes, because obviously people are mask for mask, femme for femme, and all over the place. Everything should be all over the place and would be very interesting. But how are we putting them and separating them? How would you do that? Please problem solve below, because I have not figured out the answer yet. Anyway, that is the end of my intro for this week. That's all the rant I had. Again, please subscribe to my Patreon if you want to be a part of that tiny community of people who I feel safest with, and you will get the content that I am the most raw and real. I mean, I'm pretty raw and real on the podcast as well. If you want to subscribe to my Patreon, it is patreon.com/nowthisisliving, and follow me on all my other platforms. Give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on any other platform, please rate the show. Also, if you didn't know, I have an Instagram account and a TikTok account that is specifically for the podcast. It's Exes and O's pod. It is in the description below. So if you want to follow along over there, Vanessa is doing a lot of my socials. My best friend, Vanessa Webster, you might know her. So yeah, go over there, leave a comment, say hi to Vanessa. That's all I have for this week's episode. I hope you enjoy it. I love you. I love you. Goodbye. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to Exes and O, a podcast where we talk about queer relationships and sex, and I'm so excited for my guest today. I am a little bit nervous, which I already admitted, and it's Alli Bellairs. You may know her from TikTok or her budding stand-up career that is on the rise, ready to go. I want to talk more about that. And she also has a company called Be Nice Co. So, A Be Nice Co. A Be Nice Co.
She know, A Be Nice Co.
I know. I know everything. Anyway, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Yeah, thank you.
How's it been treating you?
LA's a different beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit intimidating. Honestly, I'm not sure I'd be here if Holland didn't need to be here.
Because she's dancing.
She's dancing.
She's a great dancer.
She's so good.
Should we just talk about Holland the whole time?
Oh my gosh.
I feel like that would be easy.
There's not enough time. There's not enough time.
But yeah, she's a dancer. So you're here helping her and her dance career, but you're a great dancer too.
Okay. Who said that? Is that
I've
rumor
seen that.
floating around?
Yeah.
Do you not dance?
Not well.
You can't dance. You're like, I saw you, Dougie.
I feel like you have good flow when you guys just do your like, what is it called? When you're like making it up.
When we're like, oh,
freestyle.
Improv.
Yeah, exactly.
Freestyle.
You freestyle dance all the time on TikTok.
Of course, that's my favorite style to do it.
Yeah, and you're good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I can hit a Dougie.
Yeah, you really can. You've got moves. I got a question that was like, do you ever feel intimidated dancing next to Holland?
No, two different styles. I feel like
different styles.
I'm drunk. I'm like the epitome of like drunk at a wedding.
Yeah.
And Holland's like
Proper.
a dancer.
Yeah.
You
She's
know?
like doing pirouettes.
I like do not, yeah.
Yeah.
Attitudes and
Yeah.
such.
Okay, where are you from originally?
So I'm from Virginia.
Nice.
Originally. But I've moved kind of all around.
Yeah.
Like I was in Louisiana. I was in Savannah, Georgia.
Wow, very nice.
I went to school in Greenwood, South Carolina. So I really did the South.
The South. You've been doing the South.
Oh, I've done the South.
Would you consider Virginia the South?
Of course.
Really?
Of course.
I feel like West Virginia feels southern to me, but Virginia feels like, where are you? Like, what is it?
East of West Virginia, I guess.
Yeah, so it almost feels like almost East Coast.
Yeah, but in your history classes,
Yeah.
you had to have learned that we came here through Jamestown. Jamestown? In
don't know.
Virginia?
That sounds
it's like
right.
one of the first colonies.
But how is that not like East Coast vibe then?
It is East Coast.
But it's South.
East, South. Southeast. You're like, it has to be one of the four.
Also, I'm from Texas, and I did 3 years of Texas history. So we weren't really even learning about Virginia. They really want you to know a lot about Texas.
I can't
in
believe
Texas.
there's that much to learn about
3
Texas.
years of Texas history. I'm like, what more could we need to know?
Did you keep any knowledge that you want to share with us today about Texas?
Literally
Fun fact?
barely anything.
Great.
Except for that Texas is bigger than all of like Great Britain. Did you know
Yes.
that? It could fit inside of it.
That would make sense in my head.
America's huge. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, my whole audience is American, so I don't feel like I need to tell us, but it's crazy.
I saw somebody online that was talking about like how people in Europe don't think that people from the United States are like well traveled, but like even going from like New York to California is
It's
a greater
further than they've
distance.
ever been.
Right.
We travel so much
As
more.
far as they'll go.
Yeah. They don't know anything about travel. No.
Right.
Have you been to Europe?
No.
Really?
No.
No. Okay. Just the South, mostly.
Where's Europe? No. I'm like, you're up, you're down. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like you are an anomaly because you share so much. Like, you are active online, but I feel like you're really mysterious. Like, I actually don't know that much about you.
I'm just so glad you defined in that sentence anomaly.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was like, you can figure this one out. So yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I think we share so much, especially on the Bellairs. It's like every day.
Yeah, you're
What are we
like
doing?
active. But it's like, I don't know. I didn't know you were from Virginia necessarily.
Well, maybe
feel
you're
like-
just not listening.
No, I did know that. I knew that. But I feel like you guys don't say where you live now, do you?
No, because we've had like a few times where it's gotten like a little sketchy and like people will pull up.
Stalker vibes? Yeah.
I think it's just like kindness. I think it's excitement. I think that so many people, I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
You were the OG. You were the...
People think that you're like, just like friends. So they should come over to your house.
I thought you were saying me and Holland were friends. I was like, is that a rumor?
I don't
Holland
think you
Bellairs'
guys are
ex-husband.
giving, you're not giving friends. You're giving couple.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that community, I mean, as we get older, are you getting older? Me as well.
Fast.
Me as well.
Fast.
But it's like community means so much.
Yeah.
Community is everything. And I think that a big part of, Holland and I's journey was that when we first met, we had nothing. We were worried about paying a water bill.
Oh, totally.
So it's like I know that a lot of people are like, that must be overwhelming, but it's also like it's changed our life,
Oh my gosh.
And so it's like a catch-22, but yeah, we don't share a lot about where exactly we live just for safety, and not
Yeah.
even mine as much as Holland's, because I'm like, I can't even kill me, you can't kill me, You're gonna get the dog. They're gonna get the dog out.
I'm dead. Okay. Okay. Should we talk about depression?
Yo, please.
Would you love to do that?
Oh my gosh, such a fun subject.
Do you love
That would be, let's do it.
such a fun subject? You gave me a great segue. I also struggle with depression and like a lot of suicidal thoughts, less suicidal tendencies, but like I feel the internet in a way saved my life because it gave me like kind of in a way something to live for. Like I didn't know what I had to live for, and then having like this audience and like them encouraging me, it gave me like more purpose or something.
Yeah.
Do you relate to that at all?
That makes me so happy. That's so cute. Yeah, I think I do. I think that a lot happened really fast. You know, I always like to call myself like a veteran of depression. I was like, I was serving 10 years in the service. But a lot happened in my life so fast. I think that I still have a lot of tough days, but like, you have to get up and you have to make change. And I think to have a partner who not only watches me change it, but changes herself and supports changes and embraces the change. It's everything's changed. And I think for a long time, nothing changed. And my mental health didn't change. I woke up with, no reason, no purpose. And so, yeah, I think that's one of the ways that it's changed my life. But you were in a similar situation. When you were depressed, was that when you were in college and high school?
Once again, this episode is sponsored by Chime. And once again, credit scores are so important to your adult life. Take control of your finances by signing up for a Chime checking account. Not only does Chime help you build a credit score, but it also has fee-free overdraft for up to $200. Why is having your card declined like the worst feeling in the whole entire world? And the only thing worse than having your card declined is having them charge you and then also charge you more for the overdraft. Boom, boom, boom. Literally the biggest nightmare ever. Join millions of Chime members working on financial progress. No monthly fees or maintenance fees, and over 50,000 fee-free ATMs. Why are there fees at ATMs? There's not with Chime, so thank God. Make your fall finances a little bit greener by working towards your financial goals with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/Shannon. That's chime.com/Shannon. Chime. It feels like progress. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank NA or Stride Bank NA. Members FDIC. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in SpotMe and are subject to monthly limits. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details. This episode is sponsored by Osea. Okay, how often are y'all doing everything showers? Because I feel like these days I usually only do an everything shower before I go on a date. But I really do think that everything showers are a very essential part of just like self-care as well. And like self-love, like love yourself, treat yourself, have an everything shower for no reason at all. Do it for you. But if you are going on a date, Osea's new Undaria Algae Body Wash smells amazing and it is pH balanced. And its hydrating formula doesn't strip skin. It leaves it feeling soft and renewed. It truly smells like summer and you can use it all year round, which is great since it's about to be fall. The sun will be gone. It will be dark so early, so soon. But at least it will smell like summer. And again, Osea is plant-based. It is vegan, cruelty-free, and climate-neutral certified. Plus, it's mother and daughter owned and women-founded and led, which, I'm sorry, we love. I love. Obsessed. Upgrade your shower with clean, vegan face and body care with Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code Shannon at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping with orders over $60. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use code Shannon for 10% off.
When you were depressed, was that when you were in college and high school?
High school, college. Mostly for me, I think it was surrounding my queerness and like feeling so different and feeling like I had so many friends and like a great family, and I thought like I was going to lose all of those things if I was honest about what I really wanted out of my life.
Right.
But I think the thing that was really weird for me is I attributed all of my depression to my closeted self.
Right.
And then when I came out, I had this like month or two of like this grace period of this high where I was like, oh my God, and I'm cured.
Yeah.
I'm not depressed.
Right.
And then like month 3, I'm like, why the fuck am I sad?
Right.
Like I fixed the problem, so I should be okay. Because I didn't realize that I also probably just am like a more depressed person than, depression runs in my family like rampantly. Like
nothing
bad.
runs in my family. I mean, we are not going to work out. Like we are not going to the gym. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Yeah. It was like a rude awakening, I think, that I thought that my depression was like literally connected to one thing.
Right.
And then realizing, oh my God, this is actually something that I think will probably be with me for my whole life. And now I have to I feel like depression is not something you can solve. You can't fix it. If you are someone who is like more disposition to be depressed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. I think too that double whammy hits harder. You're like, oh wow, as you're describing, I felt free for these couple of months, and then you're like, no, it's still there.
You're like, fuck.
You're like, let me get up.
Yeah.
Let me get up. Yeah, but I think as we grow older, we just realize that we figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's helpful too. Is like over the years that I've been sad, every single day I've gotten through it. I've found a way to get through it. And sometimes that was just being bad at trying to kill myself. But, you know, nevertheless, she persisted.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah. So I think those relationships mean so much more. And
yeah, totally. And also, I feel like getting older, like you just create better coping mechanisms. And like it's not even that I think I was being dramatic when I was 18 or 19 and thinking like, oh my God, my life is terrible. But like, you just don't know. You have so little resources around you to like actually process your emotions. Like,
I agree.
Especially, I'm older than you, I believe. But especially like 10 plus years ago. Yeah.
Okay, well, your knees made a noise when you sat down. So
I'm much older than you. No, but I feel like I feel like everyone is talking about mental health. Not just now, but, you know, in the last, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
There's been so much more conversation about mental health and, like, the stigma around it. So, but when I was going through it, I felt like no one else around me was depressed. Like, no one. And I was like, you're definitely not gay. Because I was in Oklahoma and in a sorority. So I'm like,
you're depressed, but you're not gay.
Okay, you might get the depression, but you don't understand that my whole life is going to be flipped upside down.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. And I think that, like we were saying, when you're younger, it feels so different. Those emotions are so big and they are so real.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember even when I was coming out, like what you think people are going to think about you is so differently than how they will in a lot of these situations. And when I was specifically going through like some of the toughest of my depression, there was just so much going on with my family's divorcing and, you know, new school and moving to a new place that I was like, I don't want to bother them with one more thing. And it was never really spoken about in my family. But that doesn't make those emotions any less valid. They were so big.
No, they're so real. It's like
they were a little dramatic.
No, but it's kind of like your first heartbreak. Like,
yeah,
it's terrible. You literally feel like you're going to die. I don't know. Did you have like a big heartbreak?
I'm trying to think about my first heartbreak. When I was younger, don't look at me and think a younger me. Like, I was so innocent. I like did not curse. I didn't even drink until I was 18 or 19 years old. I was so innocent. And where was I going with that? Okay.
Where's the Adderall?
Give her a trophy. Oh, get that girl a trophy. She didn't drink till she was 18. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh, heartbreak.
Oh, so I was so innocent. Yeah, okay, Allie. But I was so innocent that, like, when I used to watch movies, I don't even think the acting was good because this is like the 90s, early 2000s. My heart, I could feel it in my chest. It would pitter patter when bad things would happen to people in movies, and like, God. I was like, I'm gonna die of a heart attack.
No,
at 12.
and for so, like straight couples too.
Anybody.
I mean, what else was
I
there
had
back
sympathy
then?
For anybody who was breathing or dead or not even here yet.
That's so sweet. It's probably because you were feeling all of your feelings so intensely. Like,
right.
Seeing someone else's feelings probably
Thank
was
God
like,
we lost that. I'm so tired.
You're like, I'm numb now, actually. So
I don't feel anything.
It's good. So you didn't like have like your own first like horrible heartbreak?
No, I can't. Not that I can remember. I'm trying to think. It's so weird in queerness. I don't know if you relate to this, but I feel like when I was growing up, I would have girls that were friends, and it's like we would cuddle, but it's like we were like, we're not gay.
Obviously not.
So I think I was so confused. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
You're like, I don't know what's going on.
I'm like, I can't be heartbroken. I don't know where I am.
Yeah. You're also like in love with like 4 of your best girlfriends. You're like, I'm fine actually. As
I'm
one
like-
is like your heart's breaking here, it's like healing over here. You don't know what's going on.
I turn on a movie, I get both at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm hurting, I'm healing.
You were going through a lot. I actually, and this is such a strange segue, but I'm reading this book about nuns and lesbian nuns. And even lesbian nuns, they had a word for it in the convent, and it was particular friends. And it was like, if you had a friendship that they were like, you're spending too much time with Sister Helen. And then they would literally be like, you guys can't hang out anymore. In the convent. Like, that's how much. But I feel like all queer people.
That's very real to me.
We have particular friends. I'm like, oh my God, I need to hang out with her every day, every second. I write her letters, obviously.
Why, as a particular friend would do.
Exactly. But no, it's like a rite of passage, I feel, to have those like codependent friendships. That's what the girl I first liked in high school, she went on a podcast, a Christian podcast, and talked about codependent friendships.
And you said that's a particular friend.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, this has been sticking around in this Christian world, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did your parents get divorced?
So, okay, blasting mom and dad. No.
I just am trying to get like your timeline
My
of
mom's
your
so
life.
tired. She's like, Alli,
Stop
please
talking
stop
about
talking
me.
about me. I'm like, I have nothing else to talk about. So my junior year, but before that, my brothers have a completely different story to tell about this.
You're the baby?
Thank you. I am baby.
You are baby. I'm old. You are baby.
I'm baby here with old. And we podcast. So in my opinion, in my view of it, I never saw my parents fight. I never saw them take a sip of alcohol. I say it to my brothers. They were like, they were drunk and they were fighting behind. And I'm like, I don't remember that exactly, you know? And so it was a big shock to me.
Got it.
But right around this age too, I think I was learning a lot about not the values that I was taught by the people around me, but like my own view on that. And so I think that when it happened, I was like, good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, if that's something you want, you should have that, you know? And I think it affected my brothers a lot. They're like very emotional about it. I'm like, I just think everybody should choose happiness.
Yeah, be happy.
And so yeah, it wasn't that bad. I'll tell you this, me and my mom moved and because my brothers had graduated and they were going to college.
Got it.
And me and my mom lived together for a long time, which was a big change because before then I was a basketball player. My dad was a basketball coach. So we spent all of our time together. But then I moved in with my mom and I really got to see how lovely she was.
Aww.
Like, I feel like for so many years she was just, and I'm a feminist, but like she was the woman who cooked dinner. And like now I think I can look back and realize like she had dinner cooked every night so we could eat as a family. And I just got a couple years to really appreciate the woman that my mother was.
That's so sweet.
It was sweet until she was struggling with the divorce.
Got it.
And she came up to me and she said, Alli, I'm so tired and I just want to sit down and tell you that I know I know you know I'm going through the divorce, but I'm also going through menopause. And I hadn't come out yet. And I was like, this is so good for me to hear, Mom. I think I'm also going through menopause, but less of a pause and more of a minute never again. And she just looked at me so tired. She was exhausted. She was like, you're so stupid.
She's like, Alli, not today.
She was like, you don't get it.
This is about me today. You're like,
yeah.
No, it's about me.
Yeah. So the divorce, I like think back about it now and I'm like, best thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, do it more.
Do it.
Do it
Should you do it
earlier?
again? Get back together, break up again.
Yeah.
Like, we could do it. My parents are divorced and they live together right now.
Are they?
And no. They live in different floors.
What is the term we
They
just
are
said?
like lesbians.
What's
the way
the term?
For what?
Romantic.
Oh, they're particular friends.
Particular friends.
Yeah. Except for no romance involved. They are so interesting. I feel like they like give lesbians a run for their money on like making your ex life complicated.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are y'all gonna date anyone? How do you explain that? You're like, yeah, I live with my ex-husband. I'm like, what?
They are lesbians.
Yeah, but my mom doesn't want to date anyone, so she's like, maybe it works for her.
They're just roommates.
Just roommates.
Rent in LA is crazy.
They live in Dallas.
Okay.
There is no reason for this. Because rent in Dallas is pretty, I think, affordable, actually.
In comparison,
So,
I'm sure.
I don't think they need to do that.
Just because they...
Convenience. It, like, sort of happened. It's just weird because I can't really explain it. My mom sold her house. My dad was renting this house that was too big. That was my brother-in-law's. It was my
just in case in case.
Yeah. He's like, I got rooms, Dad. No, it was my brother-in-law's home, and my brother-in-law moved to New York with my sister, so he still owned this house in Dallas. So my dad was like, well, I'll just live in the house. But it's like a 3-bedroom house, and he's a single man. So then my mom sells her house, and she's like, where should I go? I'm like, why did you sell the house without a place to go?
I guess I just don't have any place to live.
And he's like, okay, Dad, do you want to move in? And then she did. And then they moved to a different house and are still living together. So I'm like,
call your ex.
And then
call your
like,
ex.
They'll also always be like, my mom will be like, oh, your father. And I'm like, you don't have to be with him. You separated from this man when I was 10.
This is a statement that is going to make everybody call their ex and be platonic.
Yeah. You be particular friends with your ex. You can.
Particular friends. That is so funny. And I'm sure they appreciate you saying that about them.
Yeah, I'm sure they love it. I know. My mom watches every episode. My dad, I'm sure, checks in every once in a while.
You look so much like your mom.
I know. I do look like her. Do you look like your mom?
Oh my gosh. No, me and my mom look like we are on opposite sides of a protest. She is She is like blonde, mini skirt, like very country club martini.
Okay.
And
I'm loving that.
And I look like I'm easier to show a picture of than describe.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, I'll just show you a picture.
Wait, but is your dad ginger?
They both were in their youth.
Okay, because all your brothers and you, right?
Oh my gosh.
You're
so
all
redheaded.
Yeah.
So redheaded.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you,
Come
blondie.
on. Yeah. Okay, not too much though.
Someone asked me on Instagram if it's harder to be ginger or gay. For you, obviously. They weren't asking me. But what do you think?
What makes you less fuckable? So,
I can't.
when you wake up and you're sad, does it make you sadder that you're a ginger or that you're a homosexual? Pretty tough choice.
Yeah, no, kind of. It was an interesting question. I was like, okay.
And you should always ask.
Yeah.
Never hold anything in.
No. I needed to know the answer.
Is it harder to be gay or a ginger?
Mm-hmm.
I think during Halloween time, it's way harder to be a ginger.
Wow.
I think in life, I face a little more discrimination being gay than ginger.
Fair enough. And also, you can change the fact that you're ginger. You can't really change the fact that you're gay.
I didn't know that was a possibility.
Until... Is this the first time you ever dyed your hair?
Yes.
It looks so good. It also must lift so easy because your hair is light.
Oh, it doesn't work out.
No, it looks so...
What's lift? I'm like, nothing about me runs or works out. You're trying to push it. Like, I'm not doing it.
Like brightens, lifts. Like when you put bleach in your hair. Like if I put bleach in my hair, it might turn like orange. I would become ginger.
Tone it.
You have to go through the process. Like lighter, easier, lifts easier.
Right. My hair lifts easier.
Not you. Your hair.
Okay. We heard you the first time.
Okay, but you
and
work
we let
out.
It slide.
You work out. I see on TikTok, y'all work out sometimes together. I know Holland's always like,
okay.
I'm like, Holland, it's 104 degrees. She's like, I'm going on a run. I'm like, why though?
And that's emphasis on Holland.
Yeah.
Of all the things that you could ever say about me, the fact that you said I work out.
I saw you working out in a TikTok.
I'm going to take
Holland.
my shirt off. People are going to expect things from me if you say I work out.
Keep your shirt on. It's not that kind of show. Okay, anyway, where the hell did we go? Okay, wait, how old were you when you came out to your mom? Were you in high school still?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was junior year.
Okay.
I came out, but honestly, my entire life, all I wanted was to be a basketball player. And so I was so focused. Like, I was not texting. I was playing basketball, as corny as that sounds. But I just, like, didn't think about it. Mm-hmm. And then people were like, you should be with a man. And I was like, that's where that conversation stops.
Fair enough.
You know, so as soon as anybody suggested anything to do romantically, I was like, I don't think that's the way I am going to do it.
Did you ever have a boyfriend?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah. Love of my life. I can't say his name.
That's okay.
I wish I could because it's pretty rhymey. Like, it's a good name to say.
Damn it.
But he loved me, and I don't want you to invalidate that in any way. It was 6th grade. I had huge loves in 6th grade, too. 6th grade, and he was in pilot school, and he said he was going to fly me to the moon and marry me.
How was he in pilot school in 6th grade?
Sorry, he just handled shit.
Did you have a little bit of an age gap with your 6th grade love?
No, he was just like, he would practice on like flight simulators.
Okay, cool. Is he a pilot now?
Yes.
Okay, a man with a vision in 6th grade. That's
He had
actually
drive.
kind of hot.
He had drive.
Okay.
I was like, I want to have drive like that man.
Yeah.
But he was so skinny that we only went on one date. And we went to the zoo. And I said, I think it's time for us to have our first kiss. And he said, okay. And I walked him up to the monkeys at the zoo. And I'm walking him up there, dragging him up there. And I look over, and a monkey is pleasuring itself.
Perfect timing.
And I said, never mind. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. You know?
So you didn't kiss him?
No.
Wow, you were giving top energy, though, bringing him up there.
Always. I said, come with me. Come with me, Mr.
Hey,
Pilot. I'm going
me.
to take you to the moon.
Okay, speaking of tops, did you have like a Hey Mamas era?
So badly.
I felt
I'm
like
in recovery. They thought the alcoholism and drug use was bad. Wait till they see the Hey Mamas.
I'm dead. I feel like I was looking at your Instagram, you and Holland's, honestly, and I was like, you guys have gotten hotter and hotter and hotter.
Okay, not too much. Easy now.
You've gotten
Tiger.
hotter and hotter and hotter. I won't talk about your wife.
I was talking about me. You can tell. That's obvious. I'm like me, and you're like, okay, Holland's not hot. It's like, now you're a liar. Now you're lying.
No, you're both hot. You're both hot. No, but I feel like you really have like both like come into yourself so much. Like,
oh my gosh.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's like also like just growing up. But
Loved well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that we've always, we were together young, and we both had big goals. We both knew we wanted to be in entertainment, and we knew that the relationship would look very different. And so we just, from the beginning, we were very open about communication, and there was a lot of it. Like it was like, okay, maybe we should put earbuds on to go to sleep because we are chatting. And I think that we've always just supported change a lot, except when I had that haircut where I looked a little bit like an English boy in between the buzz.
you weren't ready to commit to like full
I
buzz.
wasn't, no.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's like, I think that when you're just comfortable with change and you don't look and say like, you've changed so much, instead you say like, I've gotten to love you in so many different forms.
Totally.
That changes that narrative.
Yeah. And also,
And it helps that you get hotter.
Yeah, I mean, getting hotter, everyone wants to do that. Also, like, probably helps, like, keep things fresh in a relationship when you've been together for, like, a while. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice to keep reinventing yourself, but, like, keep falling in love with each other.
Right.
Does that make sense?
In all forms, though. Like, I don't even think that I want friendships where people aren't changing.
Where it's
like,
stagnant.
that means growth isn't happening.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I do this podcast and I can say I love myself here, but like, I hope that I hate this version of me.
Totally.
I hope I change so much.
Yeah.
And I think you have to believe in change because, like, people, if we're believing in like prison reform, and then
Yeah.
we say people don't change, like, people change, and
A
I'm
lot.
glad they do, and I hope they do, and I hope I do.
Yeah, I agree.
But the hot thing
The hot thing
nice.
is awesome. The hot
Thank
thing-
you for saying
good job.
that.
But also, like, yeah, I think that's something that scares me. I feel like I have, like, let me just come out with it. I feel like I have, like, commitment issues in a way where I like to commit, but also the fear of, like, long-term commitment is, like, scares me a lot.
Relationships.
Yeah, just because I'm, like, because of the change.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're telling me I'm going to marry this person today, but I'm, like, a different version of myself from 10 years ago. So who will I be in 10 years and who will my partner be in
Right.
10 years? And, like, what if we don't like each other? And just, like, a spiral of, like,
No, seems nice. Seems like you fall asleep easily.
yeah,
at
all
night.
the time, every night,
No, I think that is scary, but I also think it's scary to not try.
for sure.
And I think that you know when you know. I mean, as corny as it sounds, like you'll feel somebody changing with you, and you'll say, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
And it's just also this constant like trying to up each other. You know,
Get
it's
better
like
and better.
it's competitive.
Yeah.
And I love that, but I also think you have to be confident in who you are as an individual to say like, this no longer serves me.
Totally.
I'm going up. You know?
Totally. No,
Call
I
the
think-
elevator.
I feel like my parents' divorce, like, I don't feel like I'm like someone who I'm like, oh my God. Well, obviously there's like, it changed my life forever. And also I was 10. So like I had a lot more time at home after they got divorced. But I think like when you see that as an option really young, that you're like, oh, and you can quit, by the way.
And you can be a quitter.
and
You
you
can
can
quit
quit.
smoking, and you can quit loving your wife.
Yeah. No, I literally was like, oh, okay, that's an option. Good to know. And not good to know.
You were like,
I wish I
a
didn't
way
know.
out.
Like, no, it's
You were
terrible.
pissed when gay
It's-
marriage was legalized. You were like, God damn
I
it.
know. Fuck. Now we have to actually put a ring on it. No,
Right.
I like, I think it just was like a weird thing. And then my parents got divorced again, got remarried, divorced again, not to each other, to other people.
When you're in a relationship, and I know that you keep your love life very secretive as well.
But I also, I'm very, very coy about it.
When you're in a relationship, do you think you're the kind of person who gets outgrown or who does the outgrowing?
That's a great question.
Right. So that's maybe where you start, is with you.
Well, I think
the man in the mirror.
I think the thing is that they've all been different.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's happened both ways in all of them, which there were a couple, and I shared them, and you might have seen them.
Everyone.
And you can see them if you want. They're still there. Whoops.
That's fun.
I mean, to be fair, like when my first relationship, like I thought we were gonna get married. So like,
but then you find out it wasn't permanent.
And then I found out, I'm 21 years old.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know everything in the world about like actual long-term commitments.
Yeah.
But like I shared the way that like you guys share, and which is a lot. Like it's like this is a loving relationship. And then when I was like, oh shit, I have no idea who I am, and like I have no like experience being like independent at all. Like I came out in that relationship, so it just was like
safety net a little bit.
Yeah, I just was like, oh my god, I don't know who I am. And everyone who talked about us, it was like we didn't have like our own identity. Whereas I feel like you and Holland are very much so like your own personalities.
Oh yeah, we push that though.
Yeah,
because
but
we
you
are
do a great job of it.
We're individual beings, and like honestly, if all goes to plan, like I think we're super lucky that for the past years we've been able to spend every day together. But like,
haven't you guys not been apart? Like
no, like for like three-ish or something. Like is the last time we spent a day apart.
That's wild.
But I think that best case scenario is like she's on tour and I'm on tour, and like we probably won't see each other for a year.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be wild.
But it's so important to us to be selfish and to choose you, because if you want a love that lasts forever, I don't want to look back in 20 years and spite her because I didn't do this because I was with her.
Totally.
I think the best thing you can do to love somebody is let them be who they need to be.
Totally.
You know?
Which is wild that you have that like self-awareness, but then also at the same time y'all haven't spent one day apart.
Right.
It's like,
you're like, well, do it.
like, prove it though. And let's see what happens. No.
We've spent days apart just in the past 3 years. We haven't.
Wow. That's so
But
crazy.
you have to think too, it's like end of COVID.
Yeah, no, a lot. It's been a weird last few years. But okay, so an ideal tour for you would be stand-up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been doing shows?
No shows yet. I think that there's like this pressure of I want to get it really right. And so it's like I'll just write 90 minutes and then I'll burn it. Because I don't want to let people down. I don't want to let myself down. I think it's like, not that, I think my platform is a blessing, but like I envy comedians who went to a show and there was 3 people in the crowd.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. But
now I feel like I go to a show and people are like,
no, you could go to an open mic though and just not tell anyone, right?
Everybody knows.
Go somewhere really straight.
I have gone to the straightest of straights.
No, actually, you have an audience that is not like only queer, I feel.
We have some moms.
Yeah.
The moms keep me zen.
Good. I don't have moms.
You need moms.
I have lesbians and bisexual. I have queer, only queer.
Moms will be like, don't talk to them that way.
Yeah. It's good.
That's not the truth. And I'm like, thank you, moms.
But that's such a testament to you. You guys are like, especially with your comedy, like you are creating such just like relatable content that it's relatable to everyone.
I hope it's diverse.
It's very relatable. It's like everyone, some of the stuff you talk about, it's like, yeah, we all get that. Especially your red flag stuff. Are you still doing those?
No, I had to stop it. When it gets too popular, you have to stop it so they don't pigeonhole you.
Smart.
But I think that, I think the one thing that's so different about my stand-up comedy versus who I am online too is that, and I think it's a lot of queer people, and I might misspeak, and I might hate that I say this about me, but I think queer people, like, are kind of against diversity in a lot of ways. Like sometimes they make comments like, it's not for you. Not everything is for you. Some jokes are for straight people. Some jokes are for, people who are not, hey mom, white, cisgendered, hey mamas, lesbians, you know? And so I think that's the toughest part about doing comedy online, which I'm going to be excited about when I do stand up in person, because I want to look out into the crowd and see diversity. I don't want to look out into the crowd and see 150 people who look like me, you know?
Yeah, agreed.
And so that's What was the question?
No question. We're just talking about it.
Yeah.
No, that makes so much sense. I also, like, on your note of, like, letting people down with a comedy thing, I can relate because, like I made a short film that will never see the light of day because I just don't think it's that good.
Release it.
It's not coming out. But it's, like, also, like, I wish I was a student who could make a short film and it could be bad.
Yeah.
And, like, it wouldn't necessarily have expectations before it's ever even, like, hit the internet, you know? Like, people are expecting something
I'll
from
give you some advice that I wish I would listen to myself. And it's just, like, once the first one happens, you're going to be too worried about the second one to even be worried about the first one. True. Right? So you do it. I'm not going to do it, but you do it. You do it.
I'm like, wait a second.
I'm not going to do it, but you should.
But do you have, like, a timeline of when you will be doing it?
2025, I think, is we're going to start out with, like, 3 shows.
Cool.
See if we can sell those out. Please come. I love you. And then if that goes well, we do 7 shows. And if those go well, we do 25 shows.
Yeah. Fuck
and then I'm in Dublin, Ireland.
And you'll go to Europe.
You're up, you're down, you're at the show.
No, I feel like you're going to crush it.
Thank
it's
you.
going to be so... And people are probably dying to meet you just to have that opportunity. I mean, have you ever done, like, a meet and greet?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Did you do meet and greets?
I did a tour called the Love is Love Tour.
We needed you.
Yeah.
We needed you. You don't understand how much we needed you. And I don't think I've said thank you enough.
Yeah. You're like, I've never watched
for
YouTube
the impact.
a day in my life. But
no. Holland let me know.
Yeah. Holland, thanks,
she said
Holland.
you were the boss.
That's so nice, Holland. Thank you.
I'm the one who just said it.
Thank you, Alli. Hey, thank you.
Thank
to
you.
both of you.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you were on that kind of tour, is Holland's dream tour like to be what kind of dancing?
Like
a backup
I don't want to
dancer
speak
in a
because
concert?
her dreams could have changed since we left this room, but I'll tell you everything. Like Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Backup dancer. And so she would probably make a little less money. Same account, baby. Who
Hey,
cares?
a dream is a dream.
I always tell her it's so inspiring that she gets to do what she loves as a job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she gets to go to work and be like, this didn't really work. Hand me my paycheck. And I think that's so inspiring. And if you can keep that, like, goodness and that youth in your dreams, oh my gosh, keep it.
I mean, barely anyone ever, like, actually tries to do anything if you really think about it.
People are lazy.
People are not trying. I mean, how many people actually move to LA and try to be a dancer? Like, I know it's actually a lot because there's a lot of competition, but in the grand scheme of every girl who ever was in a dance class, how many of them end up in LA?
Right. So I will say that I think for some people it might be a financial issue.
That's true.
LA rent is $9,000 for a 300 square foot. It's insane.
And it's also gotten so much worse.
Right.
When I first moved here, it was like,
Back in
you
the
could
day.
do it. Yeah, back in my time.
Yeah, I
no,
love
I
it.
moved here. I moved to the Valley. I had like my rent total with my partner was like $1,500. So we each just had to pay $750. Like,
I haven't seen a
That's
bill for
crazy.
$750 in so long.
oh, it's
If you can
insane.
find if you have $750 rent right now, don't move.
No, don't
Stay.
leave. Don't leave.
Yeah,
But that like wasn't as, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is radical to move to LA. I feel like right now, if you can move to LA, that's radical because it's so not affordable.
yeah,
And it's scary.
and very scary and far away.
Yeah,
from-
depending on where you're from, for sure.
If you're from the, what did you say, East South?
East
What did you
South?
call Virginia?
Yeah,
East
the
South.
East South Virginia.
Yeah, no, I think it's crazy, but I always, I mean, California's always been this like land of opportunity, right? I mean, people did like wagons and
Gold
horses.
rush, yeah. Hey, what's the
rush.
game called?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Didn't you have to go through California? You did.
I played Oregon Trail and then I came out here. So
Yeah.
not nearly as hard to get on a flight. No.
You didn't get bit by any snakes on your way?
No, but Holland did get like a little trigger happy with the Google searches, and she would like Google search what's the most vicious animal.
In California? In Los Angeles?
Every state we drove through.
Oh, good,
I
good.
was like, stop. And then one day she went missing during a run. Her 5K normally takes her like 20 to 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, maybe she's just a little slower today. But then like 45 minutes went missing. And I was like, she's dead. I played it really cool. I started crying immediately.
No.
Just as soon as the thought came into my head, I got the dog. I put her in the car. It's 105 in Las Vegas. I'm driving around. I'm calling her. She's not answering. In the gym stretching.
No.
In the gym. I said, okay, because in my head, you were bit by a snake and then
You were
grabbed by a mob.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm more scared of the people in Vegas than...
Back of a car.
Yeah.
On the way to Mexico.
For sure. That
She's
could have
like,
been a
I was
reality.
just, like, doing a little bit of this and a lot of this.
You're like, where was your phone?
And I was like, you need to do a little bit of that.
No, literally. Do you have friends in LA? Like, is it like an attractive place to move for that reason also? Or?
I do. I think we've started to build a bit of community. Our community on the West Coast is not nearly as diverse as it is on the East Coast. And I feel like that's just the West Coast. Like there's so much more diversity in the South and in New York than there is out here in LA. But you meet people, and we've met a lot of people, and you find the right ones.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, we have some friends, a good group of friends out here.
Yeah. It takes time too, LA. Like, I feel like you have to move here. And then...
Do you have a good group of friends?
Finally.
It's crazy she didn't invite me to any parties.
Oh my God.
You're like, I do, but I keep that to myself.
I like to keep work.
Those are particular friendships.
No, I want to hang out with you. I want to do anything. I want to play pickleball really bad.
I don't. Let me see your wrist. I don't think you've got it. I'll tell you right now.
Are you good?
Yeah. But
Like, you take it serious.
Everything in my life.
Got it.
Okay, if there's a ball, I'm serious about it.
Okay, that makes sense.
No, Holland and I got really into it, as we do. We go through like these phases of hobbies.
Yeah.
And it's like sweatbands. Holland gets way more into it than I do, but I try to match it. And yeah, we got really into pickleball. We did pickleball, and we would go to the courts, like in our city. And at first when we started going, it was like all older people. The geriatrics were hanging out there.
The moms that follow you.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. Leave them alone. No. And so we were like, we're not going to play with them. Like, they're too old. And that was wrong. They kicked our ass.
They're so good. If you like know the actual like way to play, like,
they don't move.
They get you up on the net and they're literally like, they don't move their feet at all.
They don't move at all. Holland and I are diving on the court. She's bleeding. She's got bruises, and these guys are just like, woof, woof. I'm like, how? I'm like getting so pissed. I'm like, I'll talk to them.
Do you
know?
make friends?
No.
You're talking shit.
We don't play sports the same way.
We definitely don't. I'm very passive.
No, we get loud and we get rowdy with them, because they'll like be like, oh, you'll get it next time. I'll be like, I'll be here, and you might not be next week. You're getting up there. And Holland's like, that's too far. Holland's like, out. She like
Your
reels
trash
me back
talk
in.
is like a little evil.
Oh my gosh, but that's what you get when you grow up with 3 older brothers.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
My ugly has an alibi.
Did you?
Okay.
And did your brothers play basketball too?
The oldest one did.
Okay.
And the middle two tried. I think they were on a team at some point, JV. You know.
I'm familiar with JV.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar.
Like I loved it there.
That was like a sweet spot for me. I'm like, I will be the captain of JV.
Right.
As a junior, obviously.
Of course.
Comfortable here.
Yeah.
Not trying too hard.
Friendship bracelets. And
my particular friend was on my team. She was a sophomore. I was a junior. I was like, I actually don't want to be on varsity.
Right.
How can I stay here?
But you were like, I'd like to be close.
Yeah. Really close, Sister Helen.
Yeah,
like,
but my other brothers, so my second oldest brother, he's a bit of a nerd, and I appreciate it so much.
I love that.
But he did soccer.
Okay.
Got a few too many concussions. It didn't affect
soccer?
him. He had to wear like the protection band.
Oh, good.
He's so smart. I'm like, it didn't affect you anyway. I'm like, I just hit my head twice, and I'm like this now. And he like had 17 concussions, and he's the smartest person in the world.
It's so weird how we are so similar, but like different from our siblings.
Me and you?
Yeah. How we're so similar, but so different.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, you know who I relate to?
Yeah, we like a bit of me.
No.
Last week I said that to Becca Tilly was on, and I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, people think you're a bit of me. And she was like, a bit of meat?
Are you really into Love Island?
She's on Bachelor.
No,
I am.
Because that's where it came from, right?
Is that where I got that? I've just been saying it like that's normal.
Sorry, okay, I've never been to Europe, but that's what they're saying over there.
Oh yeah, they do say that. When they like have a crush on someone, they're like,
oh, she's a bit of me.
You're so right. Are you really
You
into
told
Love
Becca
Island?
Tilly you were a bit of her?
No, I was saying I was saying like fans will think that they'll see you and they'll like project their own, because they're like, oh, you're a bit of me. Like
I love that.
Like Did you get a lot of feedback about your haircut?
Yes.
Like people being like, why'd you do that? Or like good and bad.
So many people.
Like good and bad, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. What do you mean, I'm sure?
I'm saying because I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I think it's something about queerness. There's so much about women and hair and like your femininity and like what you feel and how attached we are to hair.
Yeah.
Because I've been online for 10 years and I've had short haircuts and long haircuts, and it is wild the opinions people have and feel okay sharing with me. I'm like, I don't know that you need to tell me that.
Yeah. No. Sure way. I think some of it could be a little bit nicer. No. I think some of you hurt my feelings. Sorry, when you said that, I started thinking of the Princess Diaries quote that she says, hair, blonde hair. What is it? Blonde hair. Who cares? When they're in class.
I don't
You
remember.
don't get it. The girls that get it, and you're not one of those. Anyways, so yes, I did. The hair for me was like a bit of letting go. I think I cared so much what people thought, and I think people loved the flow. I loved the flow, but I was so anxious.
About your hair?
Yeah, and I couldn't locate why I was so anxious. I still don't think I can. I just remember every time I went to go get a haircut, Holland would be like, "Are you buzzing it?" And I'd be like, "I want to, but I'm scared." And like I don't know where those feelings came about, but I did it. I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's such a vibe.
It's such a vibe.
I need to go back to my Instagram and delete the Irish face.
No, that was a period in time.
The one guard.
Also, you guys,
micro
you
bank?
don't delete anything on your Instagram. I could go way far back on there.
What'd you see?
I saw a lot. I saw a lot. That's where I saw some Hey Mama's vibe.
Yeah.
I think maybe a bow tie or something.
You maybe saw a little bit of alcoholic Alli.
I might have seen that.
She was a blast in a glass. We needed to kill her though. She needed to die. We had to execute her.
When did you go sober?
I think it's been like two or 3-ish years.
Okay.
We don't do dates in this family. We don't do anniversary. We're moving forward.
Yeah, not looking back.
And I won't drink again. I think it's something with ADHD people. Like I already make the worst decisions, and I think when I'm drinking, I was making the worser.
Even if you thought this was bad, you should have seen me drunk.
The worst. And so I think I love who I am. I love who I am without it. Mm-hmm. And so that's nice. So not like wake up and be like looking through Snapchat.
Like, what did I say?
What did I say? What did I do?
Yeah. Also, it is like an ADHD thing. There is like a lot of addiction with ADHD.
Right.
And like dopamine releasing and like, but yeah, if you can not drink and feel confident and good, like,
do you drink to feel confident?
Come
to a meeting. No.
No, I definitely feel like I'm someone who has like some amount of social anxiety.
Yeah.
And drinking can sometimes trick myself into thinking I'm not, but then
Yes.
I'm actually more anxious the next day about kind of the same thing.
It's so amazing.
Why'd I say that?
It's so amazing hearing about people who can drink, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like even watching Holland drink, my partner Holland, my wife.
We've been talking about her this
You
whole
guys know Holland.
I never even
So I'm going to say
explained
something
that.
you haven't heard before. Holland, my wife.
Star.
But she, like when she drinks, I'm like, that's so much fun. Like she
Yeah.
like can have one and she's a blast. And I'm like, oh, see, I could never. I didn't do that. I
Yeah.
watch her drink and I'm like, see, I never knew that was a possibility. Like I'm one deep and I'm shirtless in the middle of the road and
Yeah.
everyone's stressed out.
Everyone's stressed out.
Everyone's stressed out. I'm everybody's headache.
Was there like a transition period within your relationship going through like becoming sober since you guys started dating as someone who drank, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I partied. I think that there was a lot going on. I mean, there was just so much change happening so fast. I got roofied and like I kind of started to blow up a little bit. And I don't know if it was somebody who like knew me from social media that roofied me. And I was like not okay. And then I think that after I got roofied, it was like a magic pill.
That's kind of
And I was
awesome.
like, I don't think I need to drink. Like, I think it just like woke me up to like a bunch of realities that I wasn't facing. And so I got sober.
Did you go through like a needing process or
No.
you just did it? Like
No, I just cut it cold turkey. For like the first year, I wouldn't go into a bar because I was like, oh, I want to try the vodka. Yummy. But after that, I was like, my sobriety is my sobriety. My depression is my depression. I think if you struggle with depression, you know that nobody can fix that for you. People can put Band-Aids on it. Love might feel nice, but at the end of the day, it's yours to deal with.
Totally.
And so now I'm like, do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. And so you can go into bars now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can party with people who are partying hard.
And you're like a Red Bull girly now?
Yeah. I just like drink 6 Red Bulls. I'm like, see? I'm like, I'm not drinking. I'm like itching. No, yeah, I do Red Bulls, and then I like love a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
I love a soda water with lime.
Love
For a while
that.
there, I was just like putting a little bit of cranberry, a little bit of pineapple, lime, a little bit of a fort, and drinking. I was like, it's just got to taste bad.
It's like tricking your brain.
Right.
But the non-alcoholic beers are pretty good.
Have you had one?
I have had one.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
also LA is like a really, I would say, a good place to at least be sober curious
Right.
even. Like any bar you go to, there's some non-alcoholic option.
Any type of curious in LA does really well, right?
We're into the curious here.
we love the curious.
Buy curious, huge one for LA.
Right.
We invite any and all.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Come
No,
on.
So real. Okay, what? Okay, actually, this is a good question, but it's not really a question. But mask fashion advice, which is funny because I feel like you've given me advice in my DMs. Like I'll be like,
I'm like, Shannon, get a sweater.
Dude.
I'm like, Shannon, get a sweater now.
I was like, no, you're right. I have a huge problem with shoes.
What size shoe are you?
A 9, but I have like I think I have like a problem where I'm attached to my Converse like in a way
You're
that
a Converse babe. You have to
is-
ride that.
I can't. Anytime I put a different shoe on my foot, I become instantly aware that I have feet, and I can't stop feeling like, oh my god, I can see
have
my
shoe.
feet. I can see my feet. Why do my feet look like that?
Yeah.
Like
You
it's-
need to stick with the Converse. The Converse are you, and I think that you've made a name of
But
that.
now that I'm 32, I'm like, I think maybe to formal space, I need to have an option that I feel good about.
No. I don't think so. I think Converse are you.
Okay.
I think you've trademarked
Here's your
them.
mask fashion advice.
I don't know why you don't have a brand deal with them because you be rocking them.
I don't think. I feel like Converse is like, why on earth would we pay this girl? She wears them anyway.
She's gonna wear. Can you imagine your mom in Converse? Because when
Yeah.
I think of your mom and I think of her wearing Converse, I'm like, that's a cool mom.
Yeah, that is adorable.
You can do this
actually.
till you die.
Okay.
You will be buried in those Converse.
I mean, I will. I will. It is like really a thing. I'm like, as these ones start to wear out, I just go on the website and buy the same ones again.
Your social anxiety is like when I'm out and about, I don't Converse, but I always Converse. Get the ad rolling.
How are you so good at like one-liners? What's
Okay.
like going through your brain at all times?
Like not Adderall. like
It's just
like
like-
the lack of Adderall.
But they're all like, that's what also makes your TikTok so funny.
Thank you.
You like always wrap it up perfect. Do you like pre-write stuff out or do you?
No, not TikTok. Not on my account. Like sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll be like, Hon, write that down. Write that down, I'll forget it. Or like we're in the bed, it's 3 a.m. Holland's just closed her eyes. And I'm like, Holland, I just thought of something. Can you write it down? She like wakes up and she's like,
Why can't you write it down?
because I can't write. I can't. I'm like, I'll forget. Once I reach for my phone,
It's
I'll
gone.
forget.
So she's got to do it. You guys are a team.
We
through
are.
and through.
We are. She writes better. She's like, how do you want me to say it?
Yeah. No,
I'm like, voice note.
that is fair. How do you guys come up with who you're saying goodnight to?
Who were for our video.
Like, are those
good
off
night,
the cuff?
Jesus. Good
Yeah.
night, Mom. Yeah. You
Like-
we're like filming and it's like Holland's just pointing a flashlight in my eyes for 5 seconds until I can come up with it. It's a lot of pressure, but you got to think fast or you will go blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like throughout the day, we do a lot of ourselves too because we deserve it. Like we're like, good night to people who push their buggies away.
Just saying goodnight to each other over
Yeah.
and over again.
Really, it's just random, the most random things we can think of.
Well, it's every time I watch them through every time. I don't know why. There's something about it that's like addictive where you're like, is one of those going to be for me?
Thank you.
I might relate to one. of these. I need to know
Good night
if they're
if you
saying
only
goodnight.
wear Converse.
Please put that in one day.
Yeah, we'll
Just
grab it.
sneak it in.
Yeah.
Do you think Holland is like secretly funnier than you?
It's not a secret. I mean, I'm screaming that from the rooftop. She is so funny. I told this story online the other day, but we were like driving through a neighborhood and we were looking at houses and we were Zillowing them in the neighborhood and it was nighttime and women were walking around. And I was like, this must be a nice neighborhood because women are walking around. And our friend Luke was in the back, who's a gay white man. And he said, what do you mean? Why would that mean that? And I said, oh, it must be nice to be a white man in America and not have to worry about it. And Holland goes, you're pretty close, Allie. She said, no, she's not done. She's not done. before I can say anything, she goes, like an appointment or two. And once again, she's back. Like right there.
Oh my God.
I couldn't stand up. She was just fire.
Literally.
She is. And she's silly. She's got a lust for life that of the many things that I admire about her, other than her snoring. She's like so giggly and she's like silly. And I think that's why we don't have arguments and we don't fight.
Do you really not fight?
We've never had a fight. But I think a lot of people think we don't disagree. There's plenty of times that we disagree on things, you know? Like, do I think that Holland should have been Googling the most dangerous animal in every state? No, I don't think that's helpful to anyone, you know? But like, if you can't...
you didn't, like, fight about it.
No, we're adults. We don't have to raise our voices and call... I would rather chop off all my toes than call her a name or raise my voice at her. I think that for so many people in my life, they get this hardened version of me. I'm saving the softened one for Holland. Like, I can be screaming at somebody, and then Holland taps me on the shoulder, and I'm like, yes. Yes. You, beautiful woman in the corner, yes, you.
Where do you think you get that from, that you, like, are so sweet to her? Like, do you have, like, role model, like, in your life? Do you feel like your mom is like that? Like, do you feel like... Well, your parents got divorced, so I don't know. But you said you didn't see them fighting.
Yeah, no.
So.
I think that just the way you speak to people matters, you know? And if Holland and I are going to ride this thing out into the caskets, I think that, like, you have to realize that there's certain boundaries that should not be broken. And I think calling somebody... Here's another thing, just quick to interrupt myself. It's like 50% of people who are murdered by their spouse. Okay, so I'm not going to play with fire. You know, like,
yeah, you're playing it safe.
No, but I keep that in mind a lot. It's right there. No, but I think that if you're going to, like, last a lifetime with this person, like, I will always have time to be patient for her and to take a break, you know, because life pisses you off and you get in pissy moods and I get depressive, but I think the kindest gift I can give to her is taking a minute so that I don't have to say something that I'll regret or that, you know, that affects a person. Yelling at a person.
And affects your relationship, like, forever.
And I think all my relationships before were so
way more
passionate, right?
It's a good way to put it.
Right. And so I think it's, like, just so nice that I know that no matter what I do in this world, if I fuck up, that I will be met with kindness and I will be met with understanding.
That's so sweet.
And fuck you up. No.
Well, I also feel like, I think for so many people, your partner is the person that you're closest to.
Right.
And because of that, and, like, the way, even just, like, the way we were conditioned with family, like, your family is supposed to love you unconditionally. So you can sometimes be, like, the worst version of yourself to the people you love the most. Right. And, like, I feel like a lot of couples will end up doing that to each other and take things out on each other. They're actually mad about, like, their boss, you know? And it's like, I can't yell at my boss. I can yell at you. And you have to keep loving me, right? But it's like, no, actually not right. Like,
I think it's super important to realize that when you're in relationships let me catch my thought here. I think that when you get comfortable hurting that person, like, just because we're married doesn't, I mean, it's not permanent. Yeah. you know? And I'm fully aware that she is hotter than the sun and she's funny and she is such an easy and fun person to love that I'm lucky. And I don't forget that every day. I mean, I think we do the little things too. It's like we say please and we say thank you and we say yes ma'am and we're like, I'm like, yes, cheese please. No, but you keep it light and you keep it fresh.
Yeah. That's so sweet. I feel like you guys are like it's nice to have role models as, like, queer couples, but, like, all couples, but truly queer couples. Because there's so few stories that we get to watch, even, like, on TV or in movies or whatever, that feel authentic.
Right.
And it's nice that you guys are creating that.
You're living authentically.
Yeah, but I break up.
Yeah, okay, but authentically.
Authentically, I break up.
Authentically. Yeah. I think it's not like you're hiding the fact that you've had 12 relationships.
Stuff has happened. No,
and that's a truth.
Yeah, I'm being authentic for sure.
My truth is my truth. Your truth
No, I literally joke about it with people. I'm like, you know, they need the Bellairs, but they need Shannon Beveridge too.
They need me.
They need to know things don't always work out.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. But nothing's forever.
But you could always get divorced. And
you always have that.
That's what you need to know.
You like come to me after the show. You're like, Alli, I was serious about that.
Yeah.
You can get divorced.
And if you need to talk to me about it, I'm pro-divorce, apparently.
Right. Me too.
No, I'm not. Holland, I'm not. I keep forgetting they're in there. They can hear everything we're saying. I'm
Holland comes busting through the door.
Divorce. No, I hate divorce. Okay. I didn't even ask you any of these questions because then we just started, well, I guess I said mask fashion advice.
Yeah. And what did I say?
You are so easy to talk to.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
And I would love to have you anytime you would ever want.
Maybe in a more intimate space.
Please come when I have my room. But
are you?
It's
Holland, beat her ass.
Please join me on my podcast.
Hit her, Holland.
When I have my bed and my set.
Yeah.
And come over.
You don't feel weird about that.
The bed of it all?
Mm-mm. You're like, so many people have been in it.
It's got so comfortable. No, well, it started because that's how I made my YouTube videos, was from a bed. So it felt like, I was like, oh, it's reminiscent. And also the topic being like queer relationships and sex, which we didn't talk about sex today. And everyone keeps yelling at me because I just never really do. It's hard. You like meet someone, I'm like, and tell me about sex life.
Do you want to talk about sex?
Do you?
I'll talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, yeah, I'll talk about sex, baby.
It's hard. I'm really comfortable talking about sex, but when I'm the host, I think I struggle with like the segue into like, I try to like have a conversation or like a question that like is a good pivot. Like if I have an actor on, I'll be like,
hard pivot. Shannon, I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
This is going to get deleted. This is one question that I got, is a lot of people are saying, you said that you didn't like the term baby gay, but you date a lot of baby gays.
Supposedly.
So is that very different in bed?
In bed.
Because, like, Holland's a lesbian. And so, like...
Fair enough.
Holland knows what a coochie
Oh, my God.
So Holland's familiar.
With
you know?
Vagine, yeah.
But you're a teacher.
I'm a teacher. I'm a shaman. No, it's terrible. I have dated 2 people who never dated a girl before.
You're first?
No. I dated 2 people who were queer, 2 people who had never dated a girl before. I think an element of it for me is that those people don't know who I am, and there was no connotation of like, oh, which it sounds like I'm being like egocentric or something, but just like they don't know of like any lore about me. They're not like, oh, you're the girl who dated that girl and then you guys had that breakup, or like, or you dated that person. Like, I'm like a fresh blank, just a person to them, which I think has been one element of why I dated them.
Yeah.
I also think my vibe is kind of like a mix of like feminine and masculine that's like really, I think, attractive to people who are not used to dating
a beautiful
women.
Cocktail.
It's just like, I'm like,
beautiful cocktail.
I'm obviously a girl, but I'm also like, I'm not like that girl.
Is she?
Like,
you see you from behind. You're like, I don't know.
I'm definitely giving girl, but you know what I mean? Like, there's like some elements of me that are, I don't know. I feel
and
like
you think that somebody not knowing that you're a lesbian god on the lesbian Mount Rushmore is easier for you?
I just feel I can be more myself and not feel like so, I don't know, self-conscious or like that you like are like thinking of anything about that. I don't know. And also it's just been 2 times, so it wasn't like
clear the air. Clear the air.
There's obviously, I've been talking about it in therapy. I'm trying to figure it out too.
I just keep ending up with straight women.
I think also I take back, I guess this is a fine time to talk about it, but I take back what I said about baby gay because I do think that the term is fine. I think that people have been using it in like a connotation that is meant to be invalidating to people rather than like what it was intended to be, which is like this like sacred time in a person's queerness where
you're
they're
becoming
like figuring stuff out, but not like, oh, you're a baby. People a lot of times are talking about my girlfriend now and being like, she's straight.
Oh, I did say that. I apologize. I did say straight girls. I take that back.
Yeah, straight girls, but I think that's where it got started. I think I just got frustrated and then I said something and I knew it would be like a topic of conversation if I said it, but then as soon as I said it, I was like, why did I go and hurt my own feelings like this? Didn't need to do that.
That's the internet. I think that to the bone, we're all just people. We're all just trying. We say the wrong thing.
Oh, for sure.
And you say baby gay.
I say baby gay.
And I say straight girl.
I mean, literally, I have a podcast where I'm talking an hour a week. I'm obviously going to say something
Right.
wrong.
You said a few things wrong to me. You said,
What did I? I'm like,
oh, you know, poor thing. No.
let me know that I can edit it out.
I'm like, remember that ginger thing? What the fuck was that
you really
about?
offended me a minute ago.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously I'm going to make mistakes. And especially when I'm trying to have like really authentic and raw conversations about queerness. Like, and every queer person is so different from the next queer person.
Oh my goodness.
Like there is something so like beautiful about being gay and like being able to relate to someone on something, even just the coming out of it all. I think even 40 years from now, when people have less expectations of like people just assuming people are straight.
Yeah.
There will still be like a conversation and a connection between queer people on being different at all, doing something that wasn't necessarily for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
Like, the norm.
Yeah.
So,
and this is maybe why nobody talks about sex. Because it got
how did
really
we get there?
emotional.
How did we get there? I know. Okay,
Rose,
wait.
how about forgive each other? How about forgive and people make mistakes? And they're like, so missionary or doggy?
Oh my God. No, someone was talking to me. They're like, well, with the podcast, you must feel like you get to like share less. And I was like, I mean, last week I said my favorite sex position is doggy style. So I don't feel.
Your favorite is doggy style?
And
Like
we're
in the
back
way
at it
that you
again.
pat it on the butt and you're like, good
No,
boy.
okay. And I've talked about this before. My favorite, if I have to receive a strap on, is doggy style because it feels less feminine in the act of like how you have to receive it.
I can't believe this is happening. And
did you expect to hear that today?
no, I did not expect that you want the doggy style strap, but I also appreciation for any way you do it. I'm just glad you're doing it.
Thanks.
How vulnerable
But how vulnerable? What?
of you.
Oh, thanks. Well, I've already told them. So.
Yeah. Oh, somebody else got into this with you.
Yeah, I said it. I said it myself already. Like, but I also don't receive the strap. I don't want to.
Right. Oh, then don't.
But not like I don't want to. Okay, this is the thing.
You shouldn't be.
I have no negative connotation with penetrative sex because I never had sex with a guy.
Yeah.
So I have no like trauma, like nothing weird about it. I don't mind it, but I'm not like, I don't need it either. I probably prefer not to do it if
a little lickety splickety. You like the lickety splickety. I would prefer penetration.
Really?
Than treating me like an ice cream cone. But
Fair.
But I am not mad at anything. Honestly, my favorite sex position is on my knees and saying, "Thank you, Holland." Please, Holland. Thank you. But the strap in that sounded cool for you too.
Thank you. Those strap-ons are like so. It's such an interesting topic. I feel like not all lesbians use them. Nope. Everyone thinks all lesbians are using them. And
it's hard to find a good color.
Oh my God. Should we talk about that?
It's hard to find a good color.
But like, what kind of color are you going for? Like
black.
There are a lot of black ones.
I do a lot of black.
Like black, like non-phallic. Is that the vibe? Phallic?
I hope you'll explain it.
Phallic is like when it's got like veins and a head.
Yes. I've had a couple of those.
Yeah. And they were black?
Yep.
But
I've had white. I've had pink. I've had
pink.
Yellow.
Interesting.
Which is kind of just like, looks like an old white.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not great.
Like a dirty white.
You know? But I would say that like, strap isn't my favorite.
No.
Because I don't feel it.
I know.
The plastic has no feeling to me. And I think that I don't need
something.
I think it's really great for people who are trying to feel like gender euphoria. Mm-hmm. And it's so important for that.
Totally.
But I'm like, let me feel it.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to slip on the slide. I want to go skinny dipping. You know?
It's so true. That is like the weirdest part about it, that you can't, there's no mutual feeling in
There's
that
no
moment.
ginger strap.
Is there not?
No. I've never seen my
should
skin
be.
tone. But I think at any point you just start getting colors.
Yeah.
Like you get black, you get yellow, you get red.
Mine is like pink with hearts in it.
Shannon, help. Okay. I'm like, don't ever judge anybody's strap. And then she's like, pink with hearts. And I'm like, but that one you can. That one you should.
Yeah. It's cute.
I think toys are more fun to me than straps are.
That is fair.
Straps are very much about penetration. Whereas like vibrators, you're here, you're there, you're over there, you're queer, you know?
You're gay. Vibrators are gay.
Right. And like other toys, it's like she can hold them, I can hold them.
I get that.
What if they sucky? They stand there on their own. You can hold them, I can hold them. They stand there on their own. It's like a bad infomercial.
And also,
Do it there, do it there.
what are you selling? It could be anything.
Selling hopes and dreams.
Literally. Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like we could end it there.
Yay.
Now people are I feel like you could Google what my strap looks like. It's gotta be
Strap
the
with-
only one that's pink with hearts in it.
Shannon's pink-hearted strap. They just went up in sales.
They did. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode with Alli Bellairs. It's been great for me. I got to be on the hot seat as well as her. So we had a great time. And do you have anything coming up that people should keep an eye out for?
Just tomorrow. I hope to see you there.
And I'll put all her socials in the bio below. Make sure you follow her, check out all her stuff. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, that camera there. I wonder how green we look today. Hopefully. Green is good, I think, for...
I'm not a ginger anymore. You can't
Yeah, you're
put me
right.
there. Stop putting me there.
Sorry.
You're like, what about being ginger? And I'm like, I don't even remember who that is.
Yeah, no. You've got bleach down to your brain now.
I'll never let you forget who you are. I'm like,